Snow can be used in many different ways. But today we will be talking about building a snow shelter. Snow is cold because it's ice, frozen water. But it can save a life and keep you warm when you build snow houses and igloo. Someone asked me a question, when would we be able to build an igloo? Like when in the year? And I answered, as soon as the snow falls, we can start building snow houses. So I'm just opening snow. Snow is falling, and we'll be able to travel by snowmobile again to a land that we cannot see yet, and past the dangers. Okay, once the snow falls, in the past there used to be no houses, and there were tents made out of skins, seal skins and caribou skins. And after that period, we did not want to use tents during the winter, but overnight hunting you would use tents. Because you don't have to carry snow around, it's where you're going to go, and you just have to build it. You don't have to carry your shelter. You go to where you can build your shelter. The snow. Tents can be heavy. And if it's not, if the tent is not built for cold, it can be cold. And people before us and people today, like young people, they can do it. Like right now, after the blizzards that we experience, there are snow drifts now, and even with loose snow, you can trot on it and make a big area where you step on the snow to harden it, and once the snow hardens, after you walk along a certain area, once you pack the snow hard, then you can cut it out. But then it will get harder and harder. You would get tired, and the place where you trotted on, it can freeze and get harder. Like the snow can freeze and get harder. And if it's really shallow snow on the land, it would be kind of thin. If the snow is kind of thin, then your shelter will not be as efficient. But right now we're just talking about survival. And we're not talking about any problems. We're talking about just building a shelter in the early part of the winter. I'll be talking about something a little different. Like right now, we saw the first snow that came. That's not real snow. The first snow looks like snow. It's just something that fills the cracks. The first one that falls. It'll eventually evaporate and blow away. It'll be gone. The first snow that falls. So how do we build a shelter? And touching along what he said earlier about utilizing animals, this is a shoulder of an animal. Right now the snow is too soft and our hands are not built well for that. So use something like this. Then we would dig out soft snow with this. We can build a shelter using this as a little shovel. Just use it as a digging tool. You can use anything, but something like this shape or even this small can be very useful. My knife here is not real good, but I can use that for harder snow. You would trot on it to make the snow hard and then cut it up with this. Always bring a knife. We can bring different kinds of knives, but always bring a knife. These two work together. These are buddies. We can make an igloo using this. So anybody can bring those. This incomplete ulu can be used to, like this, to dig out snow. This can protect you as well. If you have nothing else, you can build a shelter with this. You don't have to build an actual igloo. Like right now we have some snow, it's not much snow. We didn't have much rain in the fall as the snow was falling. We got regular snow first. We called it pukuya. It's the first snow that falls. It's called pukuya. I once used new snow by covering myself with it, starting from my legs. This new snow, which I don't really call snow, it can save you as well if you cover yourself with it. Right now, there are soft snow and hard snow. The snow that we have right now can be really hard and you can't really dig out, and that can cause you a problem. If it rains in the fall, then you can get really hard layer on the snow, and on the bottom of that hard layer will be really soft snow that's really not easy to work with. But if you dig it out, it can make a great shelter. If you don't have anything at all, you can use this to make water. Just take out the contents if you don't want to eat them. One little candle, even if it's that small, you can make water. Just put it on a little pad, put something under it and a candle. If you have nothing else, then this can make water for you, and you'll feel a lot better when you drink. And that's something that should be known. To add to that a little bit, okay, in September and October, the tops of the mountains get snow. It's sort of the changing area between summer and fall. It's when we get snow on top of the mountains. This is called Sakpik. Sakpik. Oh, it's like a beluga tail. That's the type of ulu it is. It's called a Sakpik ulu. Once the snow has been on the ground for a while and it's touching the ground, it becomes crystallized near the land. It's almost like sugar. You can never really pat it down hard. If you have no water, that's the safest snow that you can melt in your mouth, which is the loose snow underneath. If you have something like this and you have, or a bag and snow, you can melt it. And as an example, if you have a candle, this is the most important thing in Baffin Island. Only when it has fuel in it though. The ones with the butane, they're harder to use when they're cold. So if you get something like this, if you're planning to go hunting, it'd be best to have. If you're out on the land and you get lost and you want to make a signal, you can use it to signal as well. If you're going to use it to signal, do it in the back of your head, or the flashes will interfere with your night vision. So a lighter like this would be good, or some matches. And when you're talking about snow, the lighter, you're safer with it. You can also make fire using a flint, but I'm not real good at that, and I didn't have a father, and a lot of these things that I should have experienced, I never did. But the people who had fathers learned more. Flints were used to be used to, like I can do that. I can try and make a fire like that. And this knife, you can use it to get water as well. Heat it up first and put it over a fire. If you put a piece of snow or ice on it and put it next to a stove and it melts and the water dripping off it, you can drink it. It is really important. This is really, really important that can help you survive. It's like the day is just going to go by really fast. But I'll stop here for now. There are so many things to building an igloo or a shelter. And something else you should be aware of. He can build 3 different kinds of igloos. Can someone come over? Anybody?
We need volunteers. Come on. Come on. 3 people. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, this person is standing. Just bend over, please. Hi. Oh, that's how high the wall would be if I'm going to build an igloo. That's how high the wall on the side would be. Kneel, just one. That's the angle. If you look at the angle, and that's the right angle to use. And if you kneel both knees, and if you're planning to build just a short little igloo, then that's the angle, that's the right angle to use, is a person kneeling like that, if you look at the back of the person. So there are 3 different types of igloos you can build. We always talk about just one type of igloo now, but there are 3 different types of igloos. Simon, okakkan na ko tukisitya katangin na ko tukisitya palangin nakke.
There's what he mentioned is that there are 3 different level of igloo. Maybe I'm going to use you then. Just bend down there, just bend like that. So you're making an igloo. You're looking at a snow block, like more like. It means that you're going up. Okay, thank you. If you go like this a little bit, but your snow block kind of curve more. Go lower, your snow block going to go way more curve. But if you go like that, your snow block going to go way up. It probably depending on how tall are you or how long are you.
Hello, me.
Thank you.
Wow. If you don't have a common stove or any kind of stove, then you would try to make sure that everything is covered. An igloo can be more efficient if your breath is not, if you got the ground covered, if your feet are not cold, and all your clothing will not get wet, then the whole igloo can get warmer with your breath, even though it's going to be a little bit cold, but it'll get warmer once you close everything, if you cover the ground. I always bring this as well, waterproof. Anybody know what this is? Ikuma? It's almost 12 o'clock. It's not my birthday. Once the igloo is finished, that little candle along with your breath, and you can make water using that knife. Just put some snow or ice on it and it'll drip onto something, a container. So you can melt ice like that, or snow. And we were told we can do that. Use what's available, even if we don't have much. And the other one, if we don't have any matches, how are we going to make a light or fire? You can make a fire like that. Something from today and something from the land. It just produces a spark. That can also save you. Just keep hitting it like that and eventually you can make something ignite. This alone will not work. You need to bring two different things like that. A rock that will spark. We were always told utilize what's available.
I know that
How you may
you guys have been learning how to build igloo.
How you may illiberal sakhatak si magashi.
Some of the tools,
Tamat ya sanak otigi suwot.
key,
Ko kiu to kiu galwit.
and inuktituk pana.
The pana, snow knife.
This one has a curve. Is that
New mayok tan na
you don't want to get the knife.
katay kadla ko mangin na biyo. New nakakadla so.
Some of them, when you buy a store-bought, well, this are all the store-bought. These teeth, right? Can you see the teeth? Not really. Sometimes we're making to modify the teeth. Cut a little piece, make them bigger so that you will have easier cutting the block. What they talk about is that outside there's not much snow, but we can still build igloo. Some of these tools. And that so many ways to build igloo, so many ways to make a shelter. It says here earlier I mentioned because the snow is water, frozen water. We're talking about making water. I asked him a little bit earlier. Privately, why are we not allowed to eat snow? Why do we have to make water out of snow? The snow is already water, right? But why are we not allowed to eat snow?
If we're walking and trying to get back, you can eat a little bit of snow. If we want to drink, we can use these, what we showed you, like the candle and stuff. This is a very thin saw and it can heat up real fast, and that can produce water kind of fast. Just put snow on it and move the snow around a little bit and move that snow around because it'll cool an area, and just move it back and forth and it'll slowly drip off. Like move it, don't keep it in one spot or it'll cool that section. So this saw, and it was used as a musical instrument too. Well, how did they do this? I'm not a musician, but like that. If I'm like overnighting, it can be something for me to do. Like it can help me not think about the dangers I'm in and take my mind off and help ease it. It's one of the things I was taught. One of the things I was taught. Any questions at this point about snow?
Okay, we got cold crop.